Hey guys, welcome back to the 504 Podcast. I'm your host, Mark.
And Erica.
All right, and together we make Captain Planet, but we're not going to cure anything. We have a special guest here, a friend to the show, one of our listeners and also our friends. Dima, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm well. How are
Hi.
you?
We're doing good. How are you in this COVID?
Just trying to survive, it's like the same routine every day when I wake up, and I can't wait to go back to sleep and do it again.
The only person that is happy that I'm home is my dog. My dog is like, we're going outside again? Can we go outside again? Let's go for a walk?
I think my dog is annoyed. He wants us all to leave. He's used to being alone.
No, my dogs are happy too. All they want to do is go outside and walk or hang out in the backyard.
Cool thing we just learned. We all have dogs.
Yes.
Or a dog. Okay,
Dogs.
Dima, you came up with the top 5 this week as our guest. You guys get to come up with the topics. So what is the topic this week?
I chose top 5 TV characters, dead or alive.
So meaning they can be dead in real life or dead on the TV show? What does that mean?
Either they were murdered in the show or just killed off.
Why do they have to be murdered?
Well, the reason why I had to add that to the top 5 was because one of my top 5 was murdered in the show.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about that one.
Yes.
Okay, cool money. So you want to start?
Yes. So number 5 for me would be HBO The Wire, Omar Little.
Oh.
Why is it?
Yes.
Why is it that you have
That's a good one.
So you put Mr. Carrington as number 5.
He doesn't like being called Omar Little.
There's a reason why he doesn't like being called Omar Little, but it has nothing to do with the actual character, but, the lifestyle of the character he doesn't agree with.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, by the way, it doesn't have to be in any order, so it doesn't be like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just your 5 characters.
Okay.
Erica, you go ahead. What's your character? Who's your character?
My first character, I think, is going to be, I'm going to have to go with Sarah Jessica Parker, Carrie Bradshaw.
Nice.
Classic.
As a student in high school, I watched every episode of that show because I thought this is how women think. And if I watch the episode, I'll be a pro at women by the time I'm done with high school. And it was so not the case. It really wasn't the case.
I just like living vicariously through her character.
Who was the one that slept around with everyone? Samantha. Never found her.
I was actually watching the show in middle school, and obviously that was too young to watch it, and my brother and I got into a fight, and he ran into the kitchen and screamed to my parents, "Danielle's watching some show, Sex in the City," and oh boy, I got in big trouble.
They thought it was like a porn or something?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'm thinking back to me being in high school. I don't think I should have had access to HBO as a young kid.
Why?
Just in general, like some of that stuff that happened right around like 10:30, 11, I probably shouldn't have been watching that stuff. So
Okay, what's yours?
I'm gonna go with
Mark?
my character, and my character is Stringer Bell from The Wire.
The Wire, another good series.
Yeah, so it's crazy how Dima and I both have same characters from the same show. And I know we're going to have another character from the same show, whatever. But yeah, Stringer Bell. Stringer Bell, I liked him. He was like the street dude, but he could turn it off and he can, translate into business. And he was trying to get out of that life. Sort of why I guess I like Ghost from Power. He gives me that vibe where he's trying to transition, but he was a less successful Ghost.
True.
Good.
All right, number 2.
All right, so I'm going to follow up your Stringer Bell, and it is Jimmy McNulty from The Wire, the crazy cop Irishman.
Do you watch any other
Wow.
TV shows besides The Wire, or?
You guys I have not seen The Wire in years.
So it is my favorite drama series of all time, and I rewatch it every year, so I just rewatched it being on quarantine, but I have some other characters coming up from non-HBO shows.
Or The Wire.
Or The Wire.
Got it. Erica, number 2.
I'm going to go with You're gonna laugh. Phoebe Buffet from
Friends.
Friends. Yes, just because she's kooky and she can get away with saying like stupid crap and really mean it, and just say, "Oh, I didn't know," and like shrug it off.
That is what you call privilege, to be able to do something real stupid and just go, I don't know, and then everyone goes, oh, okay, whatever.
But I don't know. But then again, I don't think she's really like a blonde, dumb blonde. I think she really has her stuff together. Try not to curse here.
When have you ever seen her not be a dumb blonde? The first time I ever saw her, she was in a movie, and she was a dumb blonde, and she told her friend she invented Post-its.
Oh my gosh, that movie's hysterical.
Romy and Michelle's high school
yes,
reunion, right?
yes, but that's the character. But as Phoebe, I think that she comes up with these ideas and makes people believe in them. Behind it,
I don't know. Every time I've seen her, she's been just the same character. Okay, so I'm going to go next. My character, and I'm going to go further away from what's popular right now. Christian Troy from Nip Tuck.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Well, it's mine now. Suck it.
I know.
He was the first guy that I looked at, and I wanted to wear suits. Like, I looked at him, and he'd come in his, like, $900 suits, and I'd go, man. And what did I do? I maxed out my Men's Warehouse credit card so that I can be the Black Christian Troy.
That's actually on Hulu right now, Nip Tuck.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get into, one of these days, we're going to get into how Hulu is better than Netflix.
I'm going to watch that again.
All right, number 3.
I have to pick Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, I was going to, that's another of my favorite.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I think I've watched maybe one episode.
It's very nostalgic. It reminds me of middle school and high school days.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go with, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to get killed for this one. Archie Bunker.
Why would you get killed for that?
Oh gosh, because you cannot watch that show now in this era.
Well, times have changed. Times have changed.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Archie Bunker. He's like the most racist white man out there on his show.
Well, prejudice. He didn't have any power.
He didn't have any power, but the stuff he said.
He's more like a bigot. It's like levels to it. It's like racist, and then it's prejudice, and then it's bigot.
Oh, you have to watch it.
If you're not into, what is it, like the 70s?
Yeah, 70s.
Yeah. If you're not into like those like 70s older shows, you're not gonna get it. I mean, I've seen some episodes. I mean, it wasn't my cup of tea because I was pretty young, but I can see the humor in some of it. I'm someone that I can appreciate comedy in all forms.
Dima, ask your dad about All in a Family.
Okay.
I want to be there when you ask.
All right.
You want to be there.
I want to see. He's totally going to know what I'm talking about.
All right.
He's actually watching The Twilight Zone right now.
Oh, good series.
So I'm going to go back to my nostalgia, and I'm going to go back to the King of Queens, but I'm not going to pick Doug Heffernan. I am going to pick Arthur Spooner.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good.
And he actually passed away today, so rest in peace.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He passed away at 92, apparently from natural causes, so rest in peace. He's the reason why I actually got into the show. I mean, I eventually liked the show for Doug and Carrie, but it was Arthur who got me in. He's like that old guy who just like screamed at everything. And
He was good.
Secretly, I'm going to do that when I'm old. I'm just going to be upset about everything.
Sounds like my dad, too.
All right. Back to you, Dima. Number 4.
Okay. So, Jessica Jones, who is from Marvel or Avengers, one of those superhero shows that I've never really been into any of them or watched them, but it said, I guess because I was watching Buffy, try this. So I watched the whole series of Jessica Jones, and she is a pretty great I want to say superhero.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I saw the series. It's pretty good.
Is that a show?
Yeah. Is it on Netflix still or no?
It's on Netflix. Yeah. It's 4 seasons, and it's basically like her life after she takes off her costume, I guess. So she becomes a private detective, investigator, but she still uses all her powers, and she's just really doing good things for good people in New York City.
I don't think she ever wore a costume. I think it was just one of those like weird things where she has these powers and she just uses it for her benefit.
Oh, okay.
She's like a multi-layered character because she comes across as if she doesn't care about anything, but she's really sensitive and caring, and she puts that guard up so that she can protect herself from other people, not so much because someone's going to hurt her physically.
Yeah. It's pretty dark too, so you have to...
I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah, if you like that, did you ever watch Daredevil?
No.
Daredevil's pretty good also. If you like the dark superhero setup, Daredevil's pretty good also. I actually think Daredevil's probably a bit better than Jessica Jones. But Jessica Jones is like a number 2. Daredevil, then Jessica Jones, and then what's the one with the black guy?
The Hand?
No. There's another character. Of course, like I'm gonna get killed because I'm gonna remember this later after the episode's over.
He was in Jessica Jones. They had a relationship going on.
Yes,
cool.
And then there's like it was supposed to come together to form like this super like hero extravaganza, and they did one season of it, but it didn't turn out that way. I think it's because Disney Plus became a thing, and Disney owns Marvel, so they said no more Netflix. You're not gonna live off my ship anymore. All right, Erica, you're up.
All right. Okay, my next one is is like an Archie Bunker, and it is Fred Sanford from Sanford and Son. And I started watching that show again.
That show's funny.
That's another one. It wouldn't go well in this era. People would not like it.
It's funny. Like I said, I can appreciate senses, forms of humor in any sense, and it's one of those things. It's a different time, and they definitely spoke to the audience. I think now we live in a time where you really don't know who you might offend, so you're speaking to everyone, and stuff isn't as good. Because we're trying to appeal to everyone when we don't live in a time where we can say, yeah, it's just not for you. Or we live in a time where people can not like something and then we feel like we have to apologize for them not liking something. It was never intended for you to like.
Well, I think that's all because of social media.
Yeah. Everyone has a voice now.
Video killed the rock. What how's that saying go? On MTV, video killed the
rock star.
The rock star, yeah. Social media killed TV and everything else.
As I say, man, if you are a conspiracy theorist and you go out there and you start typing stuff, you'll find someone to agree with you. And if you are someone who gets offended at something, and if you type some stuff, you will find someone that agrees with you. And then they all come together and they form this super person. And it's like, we want an apology. I always laugh like somebody makes an apology. It's like this. So that's it. It's over. I apologize. That's all I have to do. I can say whatever I want and just apologize.
And that's why I gave up social media for the whole COVID-19 period of time.
Oh boy, you're going to be off social media a long time then.
I know. I gave it up for Lent and then I just kept it going. So it's been a few months now.
I think the longest I ever gave up social media was a year.
Oh, well,
and even coming back from that, I don't even post as much as I used to. Like I used to like post daily, being like in suits and different shoes and stuff, posting. And I just can't do it anymore. I just feel like nobody cares.
I don't know. Twitter's my thing now.
Yeah, you go on there and complain and get coupons to Shake Shack.
No, that I do, but
I want that Shake Shack coupon.
Well, I gave it away already. Sorry. I have some McDonald's coupons.
What do I want McDonald's coupons for? I can afford McDonald's. It's that Shake Shack, man. They want like $11 a burger.
I can complain again.
Yeah.
How would they know?
All right. My fourth character, Marty Bird from Ozark.
Oh, you guess.
Marty Bird is he's my guy. I guess if I could have like an alter ego between two characters, I'd be a mix between Christian Troy and Marty Bird. It's like Marty Bird, he just figured things out. Like nothing seems like it gets to him, even though you can tell like he's internalizing everything. And I guess that's sort of what I have in common with him because I'll laugh and I'll joke. I internalize a lot of stuff, but the only difference is he's able to internalize and act like nothing bothers him. And you can't read him. He's not easily readable. And I love that about a character when you just can't read what they're thinking, but you know something's happening, like the wheels are turning even though you can't see him.
Yeah, exactly. And then he has that stoic look on his face all the time.
Oh, I love it. Stoic look.
He's just like,
I have this stupid smile. Even as we're making the video, I'm just smiling. It's such a stupid smile.
Okay, I'm up, right?
No, Dima's up.
Oh, Dima. Okay.
My last one is the infamous Michael Scott from Dunder Mifflin.
Awesome.
Yes, it doesn't matter where, when, why. Whenever I put that show on, I can always laugh and forget about anything else that is going on in the world.
It's definitely rewatchable. As many times as you want.
He did that show before he became like big into acting, right?
Yes.
I didn't like him in 40-year-old virgin.
No.
40-year-old virgin. I didn't like him in 40-year-old virgin, but I liked him on this. I guess that was my reason that I caught on to The Office, I guess, late. Because I did not find 40-year-old virgin funny at all.
No, but Michael Scott, he's another one. He's a good character.
Yeah, he said that The Office wouldn't be as popular right now because he would get in a lot of trouble for the things that he said in the show.
See how that is?
Very true. Like the what did he say? Oscar, you're gay, and we would have been canceled. My favorite Steve Carell movie is actually, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Dinner for Schmucks.
No,
I've never seen that.
You have to watch that. He is the most annoying character that you can't hate. It's like he's destroying this guy's life, and at no point can you hate him for longer than 5 minutes.
I'm gonna have to see that.
All right, E, you're up.
All right, mine is going to be Charlie Harper from 3.5 Men, the Charlie Sheen character.
yes.
He's like the Phoebe Buffay, the male version of Phoebe Buffay.
That's another show my dad watches.
I don't think I've ever sat through 3.5 Men for longer than 10 minutes.
It's a show I've taken up watching again because, what else is there to do? So.
All right, my last character. I guess it's on me. Dwight K. Schrute. His middle name is Danger from The Office.
That's great.
What are the 3 B's?
The 3 what?
What are the 3 B's?
Bears, Beats, and Battlestar Galactica.
There you go.
There's
I
actually
can't watch him in anything else because all I keep thinking of is Dwight Schrute.
He had like another movie where he was like a superhero.
Yeah, like you play like a series character kind of.
Well, he had a TV series that they tried to bank on him when he was a detective. And there was another one where it was like a Netflix movie where he was like a superhero. He walked around with like this big pair of pliers. And he would just hit people with it.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was it. I guess he's one of the... he's the reason why Michael left. He didn't want to be typecast.
Oh.
Because now he's Dwight. That's it.
Nice.
Speaking of that, Angela, the character Angela, her real name is Angela. She's on the other show I mentioned last week, Black AF. She's one of the writers in his writer room. So.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
All right, and that was our top 5. Now, Miss Dima, one of your special powers is that you are diabetic. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, obviously, I can't go to the doctor right now, and I need a refill on all my prescriptions, like my medicine, and I have that Freestyle Libre sensor that I'm sure you've seen the commercials for. You pop it into your arm, and then you can scan it with your phone or the meter, and you get your glucose levels, which are your blood levels. So I have a phone conference last week with my doctor, and as the receptionist calls me, she's like, "Oh, we sent an invitation to your email." And I'm like, invitation for what? It was for them to be able to read the numbers from my scanner from my phone. And as I'm accepting the invitation, she hits me with okay, so how would you like to pay for your copay, credit or debit? So they actually charged me a copay, even though it was a phone conference. And then my endocrinologist asked me a couple questions. So it was actually easier than actually going to the doctor's office and seeing him.
That's going to be the new way of life. No one's going to leave their house. We're going to wind up like those people in the movie WALL-E that are just like sitting on that ship for years.
I'm just gonna laugh at the first like gynecologist visit when like the person's like holding their iPhone up and the doctor's like get a little closer, a little closer. But if you've ever seen it, I've seen the device in Dima's arm. I called it Dima Cyborg for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
So does that hurt when you put it in? Like when you have to first install it?
So I think the worst part is because I've shown my parents or my brother like how I have to put like the whole sensor together before I stick it in my arm. And I think it's just the sound effects that make it worse than it is. It's a lot of like popping and clicking and turning. And then when you insert it with the applicator in your arm, it's a needle. And then around the sensor is one of those really sticky adhesive stickers. So it sticks on too. It makes a pop sound. So everyone's like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it does hurt. It's uncomfortable like the first 2 to 3 nights. If I sleep on that arm, I have to be mindful of turning the other way and not sleeping on it for the first couple nights.
So for the people listening, it's about the size of like say like $50, you'd say?
Yeah, that's
You would think that they would make something a little bit more, smaller or somewhere where you're not going to see it.
But like for me, technology has come such a long way. I was so used to for years pricking my fingers so many times a day where I was losing sensation or feeling in my fingers. And now my fingers are all healed. So I mean, you can only insert it in your arm. So that's kind of annoying. I wish they could find somewhere else.
I don't know. I remember when my grandmother got diagnosed with diabetes and she was like, "Oh, do me a favor and just prick my finger." I couldn't even press the button to prick her finger. I was, I can't, Grandma. You got to do it.
Yeah.
I think
So the next part of this whole thing is dating. I mean, I've been in a relationship for a pretty long time. Erica, the same.
Yeah.
How do people date today?
So we use dating apps, or you can be one of those people that slides into DMs on Instagram. But I'm on Bumble and Hinge, which are 2 of the most popular dating websites, apps right now. So Bumble, the girl is in control. We swipe left, meaning, no, I'm not interested, or swipe right, yes, I am interested. And once they approve you, you're the one that has to send the first message. Hinge is basically anybody can, whether you're male or female. So I actually get more dates or conversations from Bumble, the one that the women are in control of.
That's pretty cool.
When I was younger, they had like different dating services. I remember this one guy was like Jewfish or something like that. It was called Jew Date. J Date. That's what it was. It was J Date.
Well, obviously I'm not on that one because I am not Jewish. And actually it's really funny because I will swipe right, meaning I'm interested on men that are Jewish, because one of the things that you would put on your profile is what your religion is. And they never swipe back on me because I'm not Jewish. And most Jewish men want to marry a Jewish woman. And I'm not, I wouldn't, change religions either, so...
So I take it you're not on Christian Mingle either.
No.
I was going to say that.
So this is past the days of Black Planet and Mi Gente.
Yes, definitely.
That's what it was. That's what dating was when I was in my dating phase. I created a Black Planet page, and then so many people thought I was Spanish. I created a Mi Gente page. Oh. It's probably still out there somewhere too. My prom picture.
So I have like a few rules and regulations now that I've been doing this for about a year. When I first started dating, I would swipe right on guys who had good profiles or good conversation starters, because you have those on your profile as well. And I would go on dates, and I would take the path into New York City and go on dates. And
Oh, that's too much work. Oh, it's too much work already.
Wait. So once nothing was really going past 1 or 2 or 3 dates, and I would check my credit card statement, I'd be like, oh wow, Ubers are getting really expensive. So I kind of put in place where, no, I'm not crossing the Hudson River for a date. Either they have to come here or I'll find somebody in the 20-mile radius in New Jersey. So that's what I've been doing now.
If I have to get on a PATH train, it is too much work.
Well, New York City boys, men, guys will not come into Jersey City either. They think New York City is just the greatest place in the world to go.
Have they ever been to Hoboken?
I've been to Hoboken for a few dates. There's actually a joke about guys from Hoboken. They're basically all the same. They're all that like finance bro type of guy, and I cannot relate to those type of guys because they are one of those men that have to pay other men to come into their house or apartment and fix things.
Oh, that's me. I pay someone. And then I figure out how much it costs, and I said, "Nope, I'm gonna do this next time by myself."
And they're not true Hobokenites. They're all migrated. They've all migrated from other places.
Yeah,
it's like people in LA.
They act like Hoboken is their city, their town.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with a trend from people from like the Midwest moving to Brooklyn and thinking they were born and bred in Brooklyn, and it's so easy for me to tell, like, nah, you weren't born here.
Did you ever see the movie Do the Right Thing? When the guy was like, "This, what you doing buying a brownstone in my neighborhood?"
Yes.
And he goes, "I was raised in Brooklyn," and they all go, "Ah!"
Yeah, you can tell where people are from by their profiles.
Yeah, my cousin lived in Hoboken a while after he graduated college, and he would tell people, "I'm from Hoboken." My sister would call him out immediately. You're from Bud Lake.
No one's from Hoboken.
You're from Bud Lake. Like, you're from, like, the booties.
Wait, where's Bud Lake? Where's Bud Lake?
It's, like, by, out west, off 80, like 26.
You know what sounds so amazing? It would sound amazing, like, growing up somebody in Jersey City on Fulton and Ocean, to be somewhere called Bud Lake, where there's probably a lake that you can go to when you're bored. That sounds awesome. Why would you not say that that's where you're from?
Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing going on there.
It doesn't matter. There's a lake. There's a Bud Lake. Get on the boat.
We didn't even go in the lake.
Is it a nice lake?
Yeah, it's a huge lake. There's houses on the lake.
You know, I don't get people. How can you be ashamed of growing up someplace nice?
Because Hoboken was a thing.
Hoboken's not a thing. I've gone to Hoboken. There's no parking.
I don't like Hoboken either.
It's terrible. You try to double park in front of that little Five Guys and hope that you can get a parking spot. It's overcrowded. This is probably why I can't date. Like, I don't know how I would ever have to date again. I don't know how I'd do it.
It's like you have to, and as it went, like, for me, it was like who you knew. Like, your friend knew somebody for you to meet, and that was it, you know?
It's an interview process. It's really,
now it is.
It's like a 3-step interview process. Like, the first step is matching online and looking at their profile and then exchanging numbers. And then the second step is actually talking on the phone or texting. And then the third interview step is actually meeting face to face. I have wasted so much time in the beginning talking to guys for weeks and never meeting up with them because they were either too scared. My dad has this thing where he calls people like telephone tough guys, and I've met so many of them where they would text and talk on the phone and be so cool, and then the moment I would meet them, it's like, oh wow, you're nothing like this in person. So I have more rules, like I won't swipe if somebody is a liberal. I'm not political, but I don't want to sit on a date and talk about politics the whole time.
Wait, so a conservative is only going to talk about politics?
I'll go left or right. I won't go liberal. Also, I want to date somebody that has more of an education than just high school. You know, like I just finished my master's, which I'm really proud of. And I want to talk about, you know, what you went to school for, what, you know, kind of career you have, or if you're going back to school for something else, things like that.
So you won't date the really handsome waiter who's trying to make it in Hollywood?
No. Straight up, no.
That's just a straight up no.
No. Oh, also another thing. Finance bros or Hoboken guys or liberals love to say they've been to 32 countries and counting. It's like, okay, great. When do you work?
I was a social studies major in college, and I don't even know how many countries there are. Period.
I mean, and you guys know I travel, but that's not going to broadcast that in my whole entire profile. So left.
I don't know.
Right.
Boswick, Bayview, and Bidwell. Those are 3 different countries in my book. So I've been to about 4 countries. It's dangerous out there.
There has to be that chemistry where you can have like the back and forth banter and conversation, and just so it's not a one-way street.
Another thing is, now that we're on quarantine and everybody's on the app swiping, you'll say like, hey, how's your quarantine going? Or what's the first thing you're going to do when quarantine is over? And I keep getting the response, take you out on a date is going to be the first thing they do when quarantine's over.
Oh, yeah.
Is that smooth?
The first few times it was. Now I'm like, oh, okay, heard this before.
I see like some pickup line. Well, let me ask you this: Do pickup lines work? Is there ever like a pickup line that you go, all right, there was some thought in there?
Not really, because now it's like I need to see actions. You can say all you want to say, but if we're not meeting up after 2 weeks, like I'm kind of not talking to you anymore.
Yeah, you don't want to date on a phone.
No.
But I mean, but that's what it seems like. It's like we're dating on the phone, and then it's like, hey, let's meet up. It's like when you read a book and you have like all these ideas of the person in your head, and then you see the movie and you go, all right, that was not what.
Well, that's why I go max 2 weeks with texting somebody. You have to meet them and see if there's physical chemistry, if they're exactly like the person that they say they are. And we have like vocabulary terms when it comes to the dating apps, like pen pals. Somebody who never wants to meet up with you and just wants to text is called a pen pal.
Oh, pen pal. I had one of those when I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, so then another one is ghosting. Someone just disappears from talking to you, or you have a date planned and they just don't answer you back. It's called ghosting. Another one you'd like, Baker, it's called orbiting. So say you've connected on Instagram, like you went from the dating app to text messaging and then exchanging IG names. And they ghost you, right? But every time you check your story to see who viewed it, and their name is there. So not only have they ghosted you, but they're still checking up on you, watching your story, seeing what
and
you're
I
doing.
get it, and that's why it's called orbiting, because they're still in your universe somehow.
Yep.
Ooh.
That's creepy, though.
It is.
Is it?
Do you block them?
After they ghost me, I just defriend them. Like, I'll unfollow them, so I don't have to see any of their stuff.
Wow, this is like a job, full-time job.
It is. It's you really have to be careful also, because I was hit up once by someone, and just so happened that one of my friends did like one of those Google reverse images, and he was using somebody else's picture, some like famous chef or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
It might turn into a Dirty John episode.
Yeah, oh my God.
What's Dirty John?
He's never seen Dirty John.
It's on Netflix and Hulu. You gotta check it out.
It's based on a true story.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one when the guy's like really psycho over the one girl?
Yeah.
Or wife.
No, this is something different. There was like a Netflix episode. Like this one guy was like
That's
really.
You.
What is it called?
You.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm confusing it with.
Oh yeah, no, Dirty John. You gotta check it out.
See, I was over here looking up. There's like a freaking a first liner that was dating, and it was like, is your name Nissan? And then it's something like Altima. Oh, I can't think of it. If I can find it, I will tell you about it.
Wait, so is like Tinder out and Plenty of Fish?
Okay, no, those are still there, but Bumble and Hinge are the most popular right now. Actually, one of my best friends, she met her husband on Tinder, and now 5 years later, they're married and expecting a kid.
Really?
So Tinder has that idea that, it's just for like, sex.
Yeah, just hooking up, no relationship.
But I guess then it depends on how you use it.
Yeah, it
If you're
depends on the
smart
person.
about it. Yeah. Yeah. Because years ago, I had a friend through a friend who actually met somebody on Match.
Oh, that was another one. Max. That was another one.
Match.com. And but they were embarrassed to tell people that they actually used a dating site because this was, I'm going to say, about 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, yeah, where'd you meet? Match, Bumble.
Yeah, it definitely was a stigma, I think, when it first happened.
Yes.
And then
Like,
once
oh,
it
like,
became
oh,
so
you have to
popular, it's
resort
like,
to
forget about it.
Yeah,
like,
now
you have to resort to a dating site, but I guess, now it's the norm.
yeah, now it's normal.
Well, you can always rely on Grandma Betsy to introduce you to some nice boy at her supermarket if you want. he bags my groceries.
Oh boy.
So, what's the last movie you guys watched? Whether it's on Netflix or anything, what's the last thing you watched?
The last movie I watched was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino.
I have to see
Yes.
that. We had to talk about Quentin Tarantino in his movies. I have to check that out.
Yeah, he is awesome. Another one of his movies that I was obsessed with and that I'll rewatch is Pulp Fiction. I grew up with Leonardo DiCaprio, so anything that he's in, I'll watch because he's a really great actor.
Gross.
He's definitely easy in the eyes.
How about the Leonardo DiCaprio movie where he went to that island? I can't think of the name though.
Shutter Island?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
No. It was where he went to the island where they were like, it was like they were a cult or whatever, and he jumped off the big cliff.
Did he kill the bear?
No, that's another movie. No, Kill the Bear.
Or the bear killed him, one or the other.
I have to look it up. No, the bear. There's no bear movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes, there is. There's something on that was the whole selling point of the movie. He killed the bear.
No, that's that's Leonardo DiCaprio in that?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I think that's when he finally got his Oscar. They just gave it to him.
Yes.
Like, you've been waiting on this one for a while. Here you go. It's yours. You killed the bear.
That's a weird. Yeah, it had like a weird name.
The last thing I watched, I actually watched this last night. It's called Just Mercy. Michael B. Jordan, he's a lawyer, and he goes into like Alabama, and he works with inmates that are on death row. Mm-hmm. That chances are they didn't get just representation, and they were pretty much like sentenced to die without any real evidence. And that was it made me feel a way, and then it had me thinking, because we as a black guy, we have two actors. We have Will Smith and we have Denzel. And as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, Jamie Foxx is really good. Like, he deserves that recognition. And the next person we have coming up is Michael B. Jordan. So as I watched it, I'm like, these are two good actors. Yes, he was early in The Wire. I think he was like snitching or something. They killed him.
Yeah, they killed him.
I don't remember his name, but he was also the first time I ever really recognized Michael B. Jordan was on the TV show of Friday Night Lights. One of my favorite TV shows, by the way.
No, I've never watched that.
Oh, it's awesome. If you like, because everyone's talking about All American, it's just so awesome.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I've heard stuff. Yeah,
it's just it's a cool version of Friday Night Lights. I don't care about him going back into the ghetto and Chuck, we got to get you out of here. Oh no, don't sell drugs. All right, enough of that. He's a star football player. I want it to be a show about football, not a show about whatever this is.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a decent show, but it's not better than Friday Night Lights.
Wait, we're talking shows or movies?
Well, no, I'm just saying just in general. It's tangent from Michael B. Jordan on different shows and such. Well, but what's the last movie you watched?
Well, right before I start that, though, Dima, the movie is The Beach.
Oh, yes. I was going to say that, actually.
I never saw The Beach.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it takes place in Thailand. Good movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. So the last movie I watched was Extraction.
Oh, I watched that also.
And it's the guy from Thor.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah.
No, that's not his name. That's where he's from. That's not his name.
I don't know his name. I don't know the actor's name. It was pretty good. It was a good. I like those movies that take place in other countries. Because I don't know.
So the ones that don't take place in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Because they're all Georgia made now.
I don't know. Just because I think that they can get away with a lot more in those other countries when it comes to killing and stuff like that. So and they're more brutal.
Shoot, did you remember? Do you remember when they were filming Narco and the freaking the Mexicans over there were just like killing anybody on set?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you ever see Narco
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix? At one
Yeah.
point when they were filming over there, I guess they didn't, buy their buddy passes or get the clearance from whoever the gangsters were, but they were like letting people have it, and they had
Oh,
to
wow.
stop filming for a while.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But anyway,
I thought Extraction was cool.
it was good. It was good. It had a unique ending.
Yeah,
Like,
it leaves you with the what if or is it or
Yes.
is he?
exactly.
Yeah, it reminds me of a B version of Man on Fire.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Yeah, Man on Fire was awesome. Kiersey. What's his name? Quersey, something like that.
I don't remember.
Speaking of Denzel, yeah, that was a
Yeah.
really good movie.
Denzel.
All right, so we're gonna start wrapping this episode up of Dating and Diabetes. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you leave comments. We check the comments, we respond back, and we're also looking for some top 5 ideas. So if you're commenting, take a second, comment. What are some top 5s you'd like to hear about? And the last thing, do you think honesty is truly valued during dating? And let me be specific. So let's suppose you're using a dating app and you finally go on a date with a guy, and the guy says to you, hey, listen, I'm talking to like 3 other girls right now. This is like my 4th date, so I just want to be honest with you. Is that respected?
Yes, definitely, because many people are doing the exact same thing at the same time. And it's basically like you're talking to a handful of people, you're dating a handful of people, and it's a competition. You're basically going to X out everybody else except for that one person that you're really interested in and have a connection with.
But so, I don't feel like it's like a girl can say it, and as a man, you just have to accept it. I think as a man, you can't tell that to a woman.
Why not?
Because women just go, all right, well, thank you for the steak and lobster and the caviar, and don't call me again.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the woman you're talking to, because I would find that more respectful and honest than you saying I'm the only one, and then I find out later on, no.
Well, no one's ever saying you're the only one. They just don't bring it up. But I'm just saying, if they were honest in the very beginning, hey, listen, I like you, but I want to give you a heads up. I am speaking to 3 other women at the same time, so...
In my opinion, no one's coming out and stating that. You have to ask somebody that, because everybody knows that everyone's on there doing the same thing. I'm telling you, it's like a competition.
Is this like the show on Netflix where...
No.
Okay, no, never mind.
I
Because you say competition.
those.
When you say competition, that's what I think of.
Well, if you're say I'm talking to 5 guys, right? I'm going to
Oh, look at her. She's out there. That's big baller. How many times have you had steak this week?
No, listen, it could be anybody's in the same exact position as me. If you're talking to 5 people, the number one person that you're talking to is going to be, or the one that you have the most connection with, is the one that's reaching out constantly every day and talking about things that you are interested in. You're not going to pick somebody that like hits you up like once or twice a week, So
the 3-day rule is out. I remember when I was younger, it's like, oh, after you go on a date, don't call her for 3 days. That's out.
Well,
that's
I
ridiculous.
don't know. Everyone's different. Yeah, everyone gets nervous too, because it's like you meet somebody on the app, you exchange numbers, you go out a couple times. If a day or 2 goes by, you're like, oh my gosh, is like he ghosting me? Did they just disappear?
Look at you guys are like dating at PTSD. Oh my God, is he ghosting me?
Because it's like a lot of people are scared to tell you also, like, hey, listen, this isn't for me, or I'm not ready for this, or I met somebody else.
I think that means a lot when you can be honest and tell somebody, like, this isn't working, or I found somebody else, because you leave the other person.
I would never tell it I found somebody else, ever.
Why not? but it should be like that.
Because you can
Yeah, I prefer honesty. Just tell me the truth so I'm not sitting here wondering.
Yeah, because you're going to get that crazy girl.
Oh, yeah. Or a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bringing us up to another topic. Crazy people that you meet out there. But we'll discuss that at another time.
Next time.
Oh my goodness. I can't imagine getting a crazy person. Oh, this is one question I wanted to ask.
But you're going to get that one girl who's going to find somebody online. They're going to go on the date and hook, line, and sinker. She's in, and he has different plans. Doesn't share them with her. She's already thinking marriage, house, kids, and then that's it. That's the mindset.
So here's my question. Now, would this be crazy? And I'll ask you from a dating perspective. And I'll ask you from a male's perspective to a woman. Let's suppose I'm a guy, we're talking, I like you, whatever. And then I say, hey, listen, I'm getting ready to take a trip to Jamaica for a couple of days. You want to join me? And that would be our first date. Would you go?
Not just meeting for the first time. No way.
No way, but I'm sure there are women who would.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they jump on that in a heartbeat.
Just thinking, because I can see some sleazy guys out there with money just going, hey, I'm about to go to Jamaica. And pretty much once you accept that plane ticket, it's like everything is possible.
Oh, definitely. I know people who have sent women money without even meeting.
Were they like princesses in Nigeria?
No, Michael Scott, they were not. No, just talking on the apps and then moving to that WhatsApp app, and men have sent money for whatever these girls have wanted without ever even meeting in person.
What's crazy? Speaking of money.
Wait, but you need another app to talk to somebody after that?
No. Certain people will do that. They'll give a WhatsApp app instead of giving them their phone number. No, I don't do that. Like, if I'm actually going to give someone my number, I'm going to give them my number. We're not going to another app.
So what makes the WhatsApp app better than the dating app?
I guess if you're just scared to give your phone number, some people are like, oh, if I give my phone number, and what if they hack my personal information?
That's possible?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to try to hack something of yours, Erica, and see. I have your phone number. I'm going to see what I can hack.
Go ahead.
But no, they send you a text message to your phone number. It's not like you're going to get the text message.
I don't know.
Shoot, trying to get into the YouTube channel, it was crazy. It's like, oh, we're sending the verification code to this phone number. And it's like, okay, great. What do I do? So I don't even know how people would hack. But my question was going to be, well, not really a question, but more like a comment. Like, I've seen people on Instagram and they're posting it. What is it called when you send them money? They're
Cash App.
Yeah, they put their Cash App on their Instagram. Like,
what is that?
Cash App is so you can send people money.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this is my Cash App, and then you download the app, and then you can just send money to somebody randomly. Like, who's looking at the profile and going, oh yeah, that's the Cash App. I'm about to be. You know what? Never mind. I just answered my question. I just literally answered my question. As far as why those Cash Apps are in their profiles.
Yes, there's a song about that too, Baker.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Dating and Diabetes on the 504 Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everyone. Ladies, last words.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Thank you for coming on. Cool.
Awesome. Great time, great talk, and it's always a pleasure. All right, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.